Why do-it-yourself rental cash damming almost cost Ken everything. So if you're a landlord who's heard about rental cash damming and you're thinking, I can figure this out myself, I need you to stick around for the next 8 minutes. Hello, my friends. My name is Sylvia Ho, and I'm your financial landlord consultant. I'm also a mortgage agent and a landlord for the last 25 years. I'm also known as the cash damming queen. I coach landlords in an advanced financial strategy called rental cash damming. And the end result of rental cash damming is to pay off your primary home mortgage 8 to 12 years earlier than your current plan. If you enjoy my weekly training, love, like, comment below to encourage me to do more of these trainings. And if you're watching on YouTube, please click subscribe today. I'm going to tell you about Ken, a smart, successful landlord who tried exactly that for 2 years. Do it yourself. And when he called me last year in August, he was frustrated and stuck. He'd been doing rental cashing on his own for the last 2 years. He had 2 triplexes generating $7,000 a month in rental income. He understood the strategy, he read the books, he worked with the accountants, and he even got his system blessed by experts. But here's what he told me on our first call. Sylvia, I'm not getting the progress I want. I know I should be further along by now. Ken was smart enough to realize that something was wrong. After 2 years of doing it himself, rental cash damming, he should have seen massive progress. Instead, he was frustrated because his $250,000 mortgage wasn't melting away like it should have been. He was stuck and he knew it. Here's what we discovered in our first conversation, and this is what every DIY person needs to hear. Ken was in the totally wrong mortgage product. Despite his lender putting him into a re-advanceable mortgage with a line of credit, this mortgage product had restrictions and caps, and they were killing his strategy. He told me, Sylvia, I could only put down $18,000 a year towards my mortgage. Once I hit my cap, I can't pay it down anymore. Now, think about that. Ken had $7,000 a month in rental income. That's $84,000 a year he could pay down his mortgage. But his mortgage product only allowed him $18,000 in extra payments. And that means he was leaving $66,000 a year on the table because he did not know he was in the wrong product. Even worse, when he tried to break out of his product, he faced massive penalties. He was trapped. Now, this is what happens when you try to do it yourself in a complex financial strategy. Because at the end, you don't know what you don't know. When Ken came to me, I immediately saw the problem. It wasn't his understanding of the strategy. It was his product selection and implementation. Now, here's what most people don't realize about rental cash damming. It's not just about theory. It's about choosing the right product, understanding lender restrictions and how to turn the table despite these restrictions, understanding the fine print of each lender and knowing how to break contracts, how to minimize penalties, having proper tracking systems and crisis management systems in case things go wrong. Ken was flying blind for 2 years. He knew where he wanted to go, but he did not have a roadmap to get him there efficiently. At our first call, I showed Ken that he could eliminate his $250,000 mortgage instead of 30 years down to under 10 years. That's the difference between do-it-yourself confusion and professional guidance. Fast forward 12 months after Ken started working with me. Listen to this transformation. Ken went from I'm trapped to at this pace, I'll have my mortgage paid off in less than 2 years. Ken told me what excited him the most in our monthly check-in call. Sylvia, in less than 2 years, I'll have my entire mortgage paid off, and then I will be attacking that line of credit by $80,000 a year. Within the next 5 years, it's gonna be ridiculous. Quote from Ken. That's not just a financial transformation. That's complete confidence in in his financial future. Now, here's what every landlord watching this needs to understand. Ken wasted 2 years trying to figure this out alone. 2 years of minimal progress, 2 years of being in the wrong product, 2 years of leaving money on the table. But within 12 months of professional guidance he achieved what could have ended in a disaster. Ken is smart, Ken's successful, he had resources and even got expert validation of his approach, but he still couldn't optimize it alone. The difference between Ken's DIY, do-it-yourself struggle and his guided success wasn't the strategy. It was about having someone who knew all the pitfalls, all the right products, and exactly how to implement everything efficiently. So if you're sitting there thinking you can figure this all out by yourself, I want you to think about Ken's story. Ask yourself, can you afford to waste 2 years like Ken did? Can you afford to be in the wrong product, leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table every year? Or would you rather skip the expensive learning curve and go straight to paying off your mortgage $86,000 in 1 year? Ken went from 2 years of do-it-yourself frustration to 12 months of massive, massive progress. The only difference was having the right guidance. So I invite you who's tuning in today to book a complimentary mortgage freedom strategy session with me today. In this call, we'll analyze your specific situation and I'll create a custom roadmap for your mortgage freedom timeline. I want you to comment below mortgage freedom and I'll send you a link to my personal calendar. Please, my friends, don't make Ken's mistake. Your rental properties are too valuable to risk it on DIY experiments. Let's make sure your rental cash damming journey starts with success and not years of frustration. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Sylvia Ho and I'm your cash damming queen. Until next week, my friends. Bye now.